Meow? Do you ever read such ridiculous headlines you have to stop and go, sorry, what? Something like, for example, German police say pizza order number 40 came with a side of cocaine? Yeah, me too. So today I'm gonna share some of my favorite recent silly headlines, and trust me, the stories behind them are just as underwhelming as you'd expect. Let's be honest, news outlets don't always have groundbreaking events to report. On slow news days, they've got to fill the space with something, and that's when we get headlines like cows lose their jobs as milk prices drop. So with that in mind, let's dive into the wonderfully weird world of headlines that make you pause, question everything, and wonder, how the hell did we get here? I mean, really. What kind of world are we living in where cows are losing their jobs? Somewhere along the way, I think we lost the plot. And now I have to put it back together. My favorite type of silly headlines are the ones that are so straight to the point but out of this world that you don't believe it until you see it. For example, police discover drugs in bag labeled definitely not a bag full of drugs. Now, I don't know about you, but this has got to be the least subtle attempt at hiding something ever. It's almost like they thought they could, like Jedi mind trick their way out of this. Oh, this is not the bag of drugs you're looking for. But, spoiler alert, it absolutely fucking was. What really gets me is the sheer confidence behind this. Like, someone out there genuinely thought, this is foolproof. No one would suspect a thing, but my dude. If you're going to hide something illegal, maybe don't draw attention to it with a label like that. It's like saying, I'm definitely not lying, and expecting everyone to believe you. But honestly, the best part of this headline is that it doesn't even need an explanation. You don't need to read the article to know exactly what happened, because the bag literally tells the whole story. Another headline that will always bring a chuckle out of me are the incredibly sensationalized non-issues. For example, mysterious winged and horned creature caught on camera at zoo. Oh my god, has Satan come to Earth to take revenge? Is this Lucifer season fucking 12? No. You see the picture and surprise, surprise, it's an animal at a zoo. I can't even be angry at the clickbait of it because it's so silly. The article does, however, leave us in suspense by not specifying what type of animal it is, and that's the whole mystery of it. But I just love how people just ran with the idea that this must be some mythical creature straight out of a fantasy novel, like the folks over at Bristol Zoo, which is where this took place, could have posted an image of a squirrel with some blurred wings, and someone would still be in the comments saying, it's definitely a demon from another dimension. Maybe that guy from the last season of Black Mirror that turned into that dude from Boney M. Bruh. Real bruh moment. It's the kind of headline that makes you think, did I just get trolled by the news? Yes. Yes, you did. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the truth. It's about the fun of it all. No, I actually do believe news should be true. Because I'm a journalist student. No one asked you for your frickin' lore. Move on. Fine, Bethany. Ancient predatory worms have scientists rethinking the history of life on Earth. This headline isn't too ridiculous, and as someone who's been kinda into science lately, I was intrigued. Now, for all my silly brain wrestlers out there, the article isn't that funny. It's actually not funny at all, so I'm not gonna bore you with it. I just find it hilarious that the headline is framed as this existential crisis among scientists. I mean, imagine a group of scientists huddle in a dark room, poring over fossils, when suddenly one of them dramatically pushes back their chair, gasping, "We've had it all wrong this entire time." Cue the ancient predatory worms. The history of life on Earth? Shattered because, you know, worms. I just picture someone slamming their fist into a table like, no, the worms change everything. Like, really?
Boy, what the hell, boy?
Are these ancient predatory worms out here rewriting textbooks, or are we just being a little dramatic for the clicks? Either way, I'm picturing these scientists in full existential meltdown bone? Let's bone tonight. No, meltdown mode. It's like in that scene in a movie where the lead character realizes that everything they believed is a lie. I need to stop speaking like an anime character. But like, imagine it's an anime, and you know, but except for like aliens existing, it's worms. And honestly, I respect it, I'm not gonna lie. It's funny the way it's framed and slightly dramatized. Maybe it isn't even funny. I mean, it was under the like oddities section on AP News, so which is like full of fun news, so it should be funny, and it kind of is funny, but maybe it's just me. Please let me know in the comments if I'm crazy or not. Speaking of crazy, you see what I did there? That's called a segue. Let's shift gears to a masterpiece. Obscenely thick boy black bear spotted in Colorado. Obscenely thick boy black bear spotted in Colorado. This one takes the cake. It also probably ate the cake. You gotta be kidding me. Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. We've reached a point where we're describing wildlife as thick boys, which makes me wonder what's next. Like, bear gyat. Bear gyat, the result of a skibbity BBL. So stupid, so stupid. Honestly though, I can't even be mad about this. The fact that we're now using outdated meme language to describe animals feels like the perfect evolution. Like, this is what humanity has come to, and where society is heading. You know what? Yeah, bears are thick boys now, although I'm not gonna lie. Thick spelt THICC. I think that's kind of cringe in 2024. But I mean, it was probably a millennial journalist who wrote the article, so not gonna blame them too much. I mean, like, I don't even know where, like, what, the bear probably ate the cake too. What the okay? Sure, I mean, if there's any creature on Earth that can steal dessert and somehow get praised for its thickness, it's a bear. If I did that, I'd be labeled a menace to society. I'd be paying phantom tax and getting side-eyed by the wine-drunk lady across the restaurant who's popping Ozempic like it's candy. I want to be thick, positively, but you're calling me fat, Karen. Man who lived as a goat explains why and says it was a special kind of time. Everything about this headline is just, it intrigues me. Now, goats scare the hell out of me, but they're also famously sassy. Well, I don't fucking know. I've never met a goat. I mean, they're literally like fearless. What you looking at? What you looking at? Goats are literally fearless. They will stare you down, knock over anything in their way, and just keep moving. They don't care and they don't apologize. In a way, they're kind of inspirational now that I think about it. Like, we should aspire to be goats. Did you think I was gonna make a Ronaldo joke? No, it's overdone. No one gives a shit. The real goat is the friends we made along the way. And Michael Schumacher. Greek resident guilty of entering homes to smell shoes. What? If you're wondering what the article is about, it's quite literally what the headline says. A Greek man was convicted of sneaking into his neighbors' homes to smell their shoes. And when he was asked to explain why he did it in court, he had nothing, no reason, just pure shoe sniffing impulse, I guess. The article even adds that he stressed he had no intention of breaking the law or harming anybody. I mean, like, imagine standing up in court, having to defend your urge to break into homes just to smell someone's Adidas. And apparently his neighbors testified that he was totally non-aggressive during his late night sniffing sessions. Like, oh yeah, that's my neighbor. He just shows up, smells our shoes and leaves. No big deal. What are we even doing, man? Okay, but let's get real for a second, because while most of these headlines are silly and unserious, some journalists try to play into this humorous headline thing, but miss the mark completely. For example, I read this article with the headline, "After 67 days adrift, a Russian man was rescued, but his brother and nephew are dead." I'm not gonna lie, when I first read the title, I smiled because the headline feels so blunt, it almost comes across as sarcastic, and it's the kind of shock value that stops you in your tracks, but for all the wrong reasons. Because when you actually dig into the article, you realize that this isn't a silly or lighthearted story at all. It's about a man who survived for over 2 months stranded at sea, only to be rescued after losing both his brother and nephew in the process. This is a serious piece of news, a tragic and heart-wrenching survival story, but the way it's framed in the headline gives you whiplash because it's presented so casually, you know? And like, this isn't the case of silly, unserious news. This is hard news trying to grab your attention in a crowded news cycle. And sometimes I think that's where headlines go wrong. Journalists have to make these stories stand out, especially in today's like fast-paced digital world. But I don't know, it's icky because sometimes they just miss the mark and create something that feels honestly super jarring and kind of disrespectful. I've thought about this a lot recently because if you didn't know, I study journalism and we've looked at soft news versus hard news, and this is traditional hard news, like the serious type of news, right? And it's a stark contrast to soft news, which thrives on being light and easy to digest. And I don't know, I feel like hard news, like a man literally being stranded at sea and his family dying, it requires sensitivity because there's a gravity to the situation that, you know, softer, sillier news, they don't have that. Sorry for getting a little serious at the end of this video, but I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I could probably make like a 2-hour video essay about my thoughts about journalism, but that's boring, so I'm not gonna do that. With that being said, I think I've read enough silly headlines for today. If you've read any silly, funny headlines or stories recently, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to read them and have a laugh. If you liked the video, feel free to press that like button and maybe even subscribe while you're at it. As always, thanks for watching, and don't let the bedbug go boo-boo. Huh? That's not the outro. Don't let the bedbugs or aliens bite. Bye! Someone remind me to put on my nails after I set up my tripod next time. I think this is better. This is me, if anyone's wondering. My cat is so cute right now, but I can't show her because it's gonna fucking ruin my whole setup, but trust me, she's really cute. You wanna guess the color of my underwear? You wanna know what I've got going on down there? Guess, 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 guess. Shut the frick up.